Okay, so what I found with this one is it is quite grainy, and like little bits of it don't always completely mix into it. And then after it sits for about 15-20 minutes, the heavier stuff will fall to the bottom, and all you've got is like watery stuff at the top. So it doesn't mix as nice as the last product I'm going to show you. It's probably, it's for adults. I think they cope with it fine, but if you're hand raising one, I wouldn't recommend this brand for hand raising. It mixes up sort of, as you can see, quite grainy. But my Lorikeet does like it. It's one that it can't be left really. You never leave Rainbow Lorikeet more than 4 hours with their wet food anyway. But this one only lasts maybe an hour before it separates and the heavy stuff falls to the bottom. So let's go to the next one, which is Thrill Lorikeet Mix. Put a little bit of water in. This is Thrill. This is a cheaper brand that you can usually get at your supermarket, whereas the other two brands I'm using came from the pet shop. And this one is very similar to the first one in that it is extremely grainy, just like the first one, and it doesn't really mix all that smooth. It tends to separate, well, they all tend to separate, but this one, the heavier bits sink to the bottom within an hour, and you've got only like really watery stuff at the top and thick stuff at the bottom. Lorikeet likes it okay, but it's only good for maybe an hour or 2 hours. So yeah, that's that one. Now the last one I'm going to show you is Golden Lorry, and I'm pretty sure this is an Australian brand, Golden Lorry, and it is the best of the three. I used it to help hand raise my baby, and she still loves it. Now it mixes up, because it doesn't want to open. It mixes up really nice and smooth. Let me just get a little scoopy in here. As you can see, it looks a lot less grainy. And then we just kind of sprinkle it in here. And when I mix this up, you'll see that it's so much smoother without all that grainy stuff happening. It does separate after about, 4 hours, which is about the maximum life of it anyway. It will separate into the thicker stuff, but it tends to stay at least milky. So it is the best of the three, and I highly recommend Golden Lorry. It is a little bit more expensive than the other two brands, but definitely worth it because it lasts longer for your bird. It mixes up better, and it can be used for any age bird. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to look at is Lorikeet Pellets. And these just are fed dry. You can also feed the other products dry, and I tend to use the Trill and the Peckish dry because they don't mix as nicely, so they work well for my dry food. I put a few pellets in. I might add a little bit of, say, the Trill. And she will pick at that. She likes to pick it. There's an oat in there. How did that get in there? Okay, so looking at the water dish over here. Now, I want to talk a bit about the dishes. It's recommended by most bird parrot experts to use circular stainless steel dishes, or this one's a ceramic. Why? Because they're difficult to clean when they're in a plastic. A plastic tends to harbour bacteria. And because this is square, to clean the corners, I have to kind of get in there with a toothbrush to make sure, and even then it's really difficult to get right into that corner. So you're leaving dirt and bacteria in the corners, and then the lids are the same thing. You've got to really scrub in there to get it as clean as you want it. So they're not as recommended. I do use it still for water because I like to put a lid on my water to make sure that no poos go in there. Now, bird vitamins. Also something that most bird owners don't really recommend using or overusing. So if you're using bird vitamins in your water, I only do it about once a month because I'm feeding a good balanced diet and she's getting all her nutritional requirements from the diet rather than from an artificial source like vitamins. But if you are going to put vitamins in, just do it only if the bird is sick, maybe might need a bit of a boost, or once a month just to sort of top up on anything that she might be lacking. You just kind of sprinkle the powder in there. There is a like a measurements that you're supposed to do, but I just generally just sprinkle a little bit in. I gotta clean the spoon. Just pause. Go. So once you sprinkle a little bit in, give it a mix, and it'll go kind of an orangey color. And then, you know, I'll change this back to plain water in a few days. So it's just a top up in case my diet is lacking in anything, but it's not something that you do every single time, and definitely no more than once a month, really. And so there it is. We're ready to give all this to the bird and see which one she prefers. Okay. So this one is, that one's Trill. I'm gonna open this. That one's Golden Lorry. She went straight to Golden Lorry. This one is the first one, which was the peckish. And she likes that too. And this is the dry. So she doesn't normally get 3 different bowls. She only usually gets 1, but we're just doing this as a test to see which she likes. She's liking that banana flavored peckish brand right now. Having a good eat of that one. She's not touching the Thrill. Well, she did go she went straight to the Golden Lorry, but now she's gone over to the banana flavored one, which probably just has a nice taste. The Golden Lorry, I think, is berry flavored. She's gonna have a try the Trill, so she's trying each one. So she actually, as far as taste wise, the bird likes all 3. You like that banana flavored one, do you? That was your favorite? You like banana? No, can't come out. Stay in there and eat your food. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half since I mixed up the food, and let's take a look at it. This is the Golden Lorry. It still looks pretty creamy and nice. And River's had a bath, so she's made everything wet here. She's caused a river. And this is the dry food. Obviously, there's no change in the dry food, but as you can see, if we look closely at this one, this is the Trill, and you can see that the water is all the sediments fall into the bottom, and it's just sort of water at the top, and it just didn't last very long. This one is the peckish, and it's better, so it's in between the two. It's still sort of quite solid, more solid than it should be. But she did eat quite a bit of that because she really likes this one. So those are the 3 different ones, and how well they lasted over about an hour and a half. We've got your peckish that separated pretty badly, your Golden Lorry, which stayed pretty creamy, and your peckish, which stayed sort of in between the two. She's had a bit of a nibble at her fruits. She had a bath. She's currently climbing the cage. Just, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come up here. She's wet, so she can't. She's all wet from having a bath. Come here. Did you have a bath? I can't hold the camera with you at the same time. Did you have a bath? So she's also got, aside from the Lorikeet mix, wet mix and dry mix, she also has some fruit and veg here. So I've given her a mixture of spinach leaves, a little bit of grated carrot, and some fresh banana. She also likes grapes and any fruit other than citrus fruits, and she'll nibble on cauliflower or broccoli. Pretty much any fruit and veg is good for her. A bit of strawberry, so that she has a balance with her nectar mix, as well as, this is kind of a roughage. Now Lorikeet's, the Rainbow Lorikeet does not eat seeds, so we don't give her a seed mix. I do give her a cuttlefish more to just peck at, and for calcium. And like I said, I give the bird vitamins about once a month, just in case I've missed anything. But no more than that because we don't want to overload the bird system. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, subscribe. Any advice, anything you do different, tell me in the comment section. And I shall see you next time. Bye.